A police chase ends in a hail of gunfire at an apartment complex.
After the suspect's car had stopped, I then saw the police shooting.
The passenger killed, the driver fighting for his life tonight. Those who live there still shaken.
I've just never seen anything like it before, especially in this area.
Tonight, we're learning much more about the suspects and what led up to the second deadly shooting involving police this week in West Michigan. News Channel 3 live at 10 on the CW7 starts right now.
You're watching live, local, breaking news. This is News Channel 3 live at 10 on the CW7.
And hello, West Michigan. I'm Andy Dominiani. A Michigan State Police investigation is underway tonight after police shoot and kill a man that they say jumped out of a car with a rifle aimed right at them. We were the first on the scene in Portage this afternoon, and we have live team coverage tonight. We begin with Amy Hybels live at Bronson Hospital in Kalamazoo, where the driver of that car is being treated tonight. Amy, what can you tell us about the suspects?
That's right. Well, right now we're learning that the driver of that vehicle is in critical condition down here at Bronson Hospital. Now, according to state police, we're told that his brother was in the passenger seat and was shot and killed by police after pulling out an assault-style rifle and firing at them. State police say the passenger, a 37-year-old Portage man, had a history with police and was wanted on an outstanding warrant for trespassing. He had prior contact with them involving an eviction. They say he had guns in his house and they didn't want to try and arrest him there because of that. Now, we found the car involved in the incident is registered to a Sean Peltier of Portage. Now, this afternoon, we had the only cameras on scene while there was a heavy police presence outside of his residence in Portage, not far from where the crash and the shooting took place. State police records also show that Sean's brother, Terry Peltier, has a criminal history and has served prison time for multiple charges, including fleeing police. Neighbors we spoke with were on edge after police converged on their neighborhood this afternoon.
I better open the blinds because it's after 1 o'clock. So as I opened the blinds, there was a policeman in my backyard with a rifle. And it startled me, so I knocked on the window and said, "What are you doing here?" And he said, "Just stay in your house, ma'am. We have problems back here. Just stay in your house." And I said, "Okay."
Michigan State Police are now taking the lead into the investigation surrounding this entire incident. The family has not been, they're still in the process of notifying the family. So at this time, Michigan State Police are not releasing the names of the two victims. Reporting live in Kalamazoo, Amy Hybels for News Channel 3 on CW7 at 10.
That police shooting happened at the Anna's Vineyard apartment complex in Portage this afternoon at Millam and 131, leaving many residents in shock. News Channel 3's Sherry Hardman has been on the scene all day, talking with police and eyewitnesses. She is joining us live in Portage to describe the events leading up to that shooting. Sherry.
Andy, this all started as a traffic stop for an outstanding warrant that ended in gunfire at this apartment complex, a shooting that still has residents who live here shaken tonight.
Is this really happening?
Jory Grant is still in disbelief over an officer-involved shooting that took place just steps from her apartment at the Anna's Vineyard apartment complex earlier today.
It's just like what you see on TV. You know, he has the stance and everything. There must have been like 5 or 6 shots that he fires into the car.
Deputies from the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Department spotted an individual that had a warrant for his arrest. They called for marked units to try to effect a traffic stop. A police pursuit began about 12:45. The pursuit continued through Kalamazoo County and ended here at Anna's Vineyards.
The 37-year-old suspect was riding in the passenger seat of this vehicle during the 25-mile chase, and police say he was armed.
That there was a semi-automatic assault-type rifle that was brandished at the time of the stop. I know that it was leveled toward the officers.
And we're told dash cam video shows he started firing before police shot him. Jessica Cruzinga heard what she says sounded like dozens of sirens and went outside to see the suspects enter the complex.
And then I saw him go over the curb where he ended up ending at. And then I saw the police cars coming in. And then after the suspect's car had stopped, I then saw the police shooting.
One suspect, the man police were pursuing, was shot and killed. The other, the driver, was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Cruzinga says she is glad no one else was hurt.
This is probably the craziest thing I've ever seen, like, in my entire life. And I was just, like, thankful my daughter wasn't at home.
And police have not released the names of the suspects at this time. In Portage, Sherry Hardman, News Channel 3, live at 10 on the CW7.
And stay with News Channel 3 for continuing coverage on today's police chase and deadly shooting in Portage. We've got the very latest for you at 11 on News Channel 3 and online at WWMT.com. Turning now to weather, you're going to need your rain gear for the next few days, and that includes the weekend, unfortunately. Chief Meteorologist Keith Thompson's in Severe Weather Center 3 right now with a look at our forecast. Keith.
Andy, showers already approaching from the west. You see them here on live Doppler radar. And we're going to put this into motion to show you what's been happening here over the last hour or two around West Michigan. And these showers are going to continue moving right on through. And in fact, as they do, we're going to see them, I think, eventually making their way right on into West Michigan. Watch, you see them approaching right here. And right now, they're still close to the lake shore. But as we track these off to the east, you see them moving, for example, right into, it looks like the Allegan area, eventually South Haven here, coming up in about another 15 or 20 minutes or so. I'm going to tell you more about the forecast for tomorrow and look ahead to the weekend, too. That's coming up in just a bit. Back to you.
All right, Keith, thank you. New at 10, a Berry County man has been charged with murder months after investigators say he hit his neighbor over the head with a shovel, killing him. Today, Michael Curtis was charged with murder in the second degree in the death of Brian Sutherland. We first broke the news back in October when police say the suspect and victim got into a small property dispute that escalated. Sutherland died weeks later from blunt force trauma to the head. Curtis already is facing aggravated assault charges. He'll be due back in court on the 27th. A Newaygo County man admits to being on drugs and trying to cover up the death of his girlfriend's 4-month-old daughter. Matthew Bradley was charged today in the death of Natalia Rich. Little Natalia's body was found Tuesday night hidden in the basement of her mother's home in White Cloud. In court today, investigators say that Bradley told them he took a nap with Natalia Saturday, and when he woke up, the baby was dead. That's when he hid her body. While the child's mother says she's convinced that Bradley killed her daughter, Bradley's family supports him.
He had to have done it. He's the one, and besides, he told the deputy she was dead in her car seat in the house. So something had to have happened. But like I keep telling everyone, regardless, he should have called 911.
Matt did love the baby. He changed her, he fed her, he took care of her when Brittany wasn't around. I don't say Brittany did anything. I don't say Matt did anything. I just say I can't wait till the truth comes out.
Police also say Bradley admitted to being on methamphetamines and morphine at the time of the baby's death. A jury finds a Kalamazoo man not guilty on all charges relating to a shooting that killed his 19-year-old friend. Tyler Bishop was facing attempted murder and several weapons charges. Those charges stem from the July 23rd deadly shooting of Christopher Adams on Mount Olivet. Another man, Daquan Pritchett, is accused of firing those fatal shots, killing Adams. He will stand trial later this month. Matthew Sandusky was in West Michigan tonight, spreading a message about child abuse. He is the adopted son of former Penn State University football coach and convicted child molester Jerry Sandusky. News Channel 3's Amy Hybels was there as he spoke to parents and child advocates in Ottawa County.
The crowd at the Children's Advocacy Center gave Matthew Sandusky a standing ovation, a far different response from the one he received from his adoptive family after telling police his adoptive father had sexually abused him until he was 16 years old. Matthew told reporters he was first introduced to Jerry Sandusky when he was 8 years old while attending a camp the coach founded. That led to an invitation to attend a football game. Matthew says the very first time Sandusky picked him up, he placed his hand on his knee. As they started spending more time together, Matthew says he became more aggressive.
He started pushing boundaries more and more. Would move his hand higher up my leg when he would pick me up, to we'd be wrestling around in my locker room, to eventually showering totally naked and being in the shower with him grabbing hold of me and bear hugging me. Again, every other aspect of sexual abuse.
Matthew did not testify at Sandusky's trial, but the 68-year-old coach was convicted in 2012 of sexually assaulting 10 boys over 15 years. Last week, Sandusky, who was serving a 30 to 60-year prison sentence on 45 counts of child sexual abuse, filed a new appeal. He has maintained his innocence, acknowledging he showered with boys, but saying he didn't abuse them. Matthew says he didn't come forward until after he heard victim testimony in open court.
As he was going through and telling his truth of what had happened to him, I couldn't quite figure out and understand how he knew everything that happened to me. It was in that moment where I truly realized that I was not the only victim of this man.
And that was Amy Heibels reporting there. Matthew Sandusky also spoke in Holland tonight. For more information on the Children's Advocacy Center, head to the link section of WWMT.com. New at 10, an audit into the Michigan Youth Challenge Academy in Battle Creek found several financial and education flaws. The state-run academy provides military-based training and education for high school dropouts. But a new audit says the program failed to document how it spent tens of thousands of dollars, didn't always provide the recommended amount of food to cadets, and lacked proper oversight of educational services. The academy is run in part by the State Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. Officials say that a new director has been appointed and a new financial management plan has been put in place in response to the findings of that audit. The debate over licensed gun owners carrying in schools is heating up. That after a Genesee County man open carried his gun onto a school campus, sending it into lockdown. The Clio School District has now instituted a no weapons policy, posting a sign on the door. But Ken Herman says he is suing the district for infringing on his rights.
Putting a sign on the door is not going to make your children safer. It's not going to make my daughter safer. And I'm not thrilled that they have a sign on the door and all this media attention.
It just made me horrified to think that that was legal. And so that's what triggered me to do what I can to change the law.
Right now, 2,000 people have signed a petition supporting House Bill 4261, which looks to ban licensed gun owners from bringing their guns onto school property. Governor Snyder has told Michigan Radio today that he'd like to work out a compromise where people with CPLs would be able to carry concealed weapons into schools. Now, there's much more to come tonight. Our attention span is apparently now less than that of a goldfish. Yeah, that's according to a new study. We'll tell you what's causing us to lose focus. Also, an investigation's underway after this video surfaces showing an officer pepper spraying two handcuffed teens. Welcome back to the CW7, making headlines across America and around the globe. Investigators are unsure why, but they say an Amtrak train sped up 1 minute before it derailed on a sharp curve in Philadelphia Tuesday night. 8 people were killed in that crash. The NTSB now says a camera mounted on the front of the train shows it was going 70 miles an hour right before the crash. And then during the final minute, the train's speed had increased to over 100 miles an hour. A lawyer for the train's engineer says that Brandon Bastian does not remember the actual crash. A difficult week for Amtrak trains. You're looking at one that caught fire in Wisconsin. The train left Chicago, bound for Milwaukee, when flames broke out in the engine. A passenger says the train came to a quick stop, then smoke was seen billowing out of the engine. Some 100 passengers on board exited safely. No injuries are being reported. Investigators are trying to figure out what caused that fire. Investigators are also looking into a video that appears to show an Illinois cop pepper spraying 2 teenagers in police custody. The teens are handcuffed in a holding cell when the officer sprayed them both in their faces. One of the teens is left twitching and shaking for several minutes. And while the video is from January, the police chief says he didn't know about it until March. Internal Affairs, as well as Illinois state officials, are currently investigating. A driver and a funeral director are both out of a job tonight after they were caught parking their hearse at a Florida Dunkin' Donuts with the body of a veteran inside. The president of the company says the pit stop goes against his core business of honoring our vets. The veteran's widow says she was disappointed by their Dunkin' Donuts stop, but did not think the two should be fired. And that's a quick look at what's making headlines on this Thursday night. Things are changing in the weather department, and Chief Meteorologist Keith Thompson's in to tell us how. Hi there, Keith.
Hi there, Andy. You know, we started today with lots of sunshine. By the end of the afternoon, we had lots of clouds, and now we're looking at rain that is moving in. It will be with us overnight, and a few thunderstorms possible as we start on a pattern that will lead us to a warm but unsettled weekend. There's that rain chance for tomorrow, especially in the morning. Confidence is high. Showers scattered about on Saturday and Sunday. But look at the high temperatures in the lower 80s right now. Live Doppler radar, 100-mile scan. We're going to put this into motion here and show you what's been going on over the last hour. And you'll see that these showers have been drifting steadily off to the east. And right now, just starting to move into West Michigan. So while we have it in motion, let's zoom in a little bit closer here to show you what's going on right around the lakeshore. Starting to see a few sprinkles in South Haven, also in Benton Harbor. Dowagiac seeing a few of these sprinkles as well. And this activity going to continue moving off to the northeast here as these showers are moving along at about 20 to 30 miles per hour. As we clock this out for you here, we're talking about it moving into South Haven here at about 10:20 with some more rain and eventually moving up toward the Allegan and Finnville areas coming up a little bit later on as well. In fact, let's go hour by hour, show you what's going to happen here. The showers, this is just the leading edge. You'll see more moving through overnight. So likely a wet commute for you tomorrow morning. Then in the afternoon, the showers become a bit more scattered. In fact, we might even see some sunshine before we get to the end of the day. Well, right now, mostly cloudy. Battle Creek, you're at 58 degrees. The air's still fairly dry. And that's why some of that precipitation you're seeing on the radar, not even making it to the ground yet, but overnight, that process will take place. 58 also in Kalamazoo, Three Rivers, South Haven, and Holland. Temperatures in the upper 50s to around 60 area-wide. Tonight, we'll see some areas of showers, maybe a thunderstorm overnight, 54 for your low. And tomorrow, again, rain and thunderstorms, especially in the morning. In the afternoon, they'll become a bit more scattered about with a high of 74. 7-day forecast and unsettled weather for Saturday, Sunday, even into Monday morning with a chance for scattered showers and storms. And then it turns much cooler, actually Monday afternoon and evening. And by Tuesday and Wednesday, could even be seeing some frost. So we go from warm and sticky, 82 on Saturday, to protect the plants.
Back to almost freezing.
Awfully
30, 80, 30, 80, all in the same 7-day, huh?
You bet, yeah.
Never a dull moment around here.
That's for sure.
All right, Keith, thanks. Well, tonight, a great event, RoofSit 2015, to benefit the Community Healing Center and the Children's Advocacy Center. Kate Tillotson and I were thrilled to be the auctioneers at the RoofSit Carrabba's party today to raise money to treat and protect the young victims of physical and sexual abuse in our community. Some great things to auction off and thousands of dollars raised. We want to thank the Community Healing Centers for having us and encourage you to visit their RoofSit event, rain or shine, this weekend. We've searched the web tonight to see what's trending tonight, and now it's time to see what's happening. A study by Microsoft shows that our attention span is actually less than that of a goldfish. A goldfish. Using brain activity monitors, Microsoft surveyed more than 2,000 people to determine the impact that smartphones have on our daily lives. Well, they found that while our ability to multitask has improved, our actual attention span has dropped off to nothing. In 2000, the average attention span was 12 seconds. Now it's fallen to 8. Goldfish are believed to be able to maintain a solid 9. I don't even know what to say about that. It's embarrassing. All right, husband for sale. Katie Boyer says her husband Chris is a slam dunk, but he forgot Mother's Day. So frustrated, she put her husband up for sale on Facebook, advertising interested buyers that 8 years of marriage has him somewhat broken in. Well, the post went viral with hundreds of comments and likes within hours. The highest bid they've received so far to buy her husband Chris, $20, giving the couple a good chuckle. All right, check out this amazing Lego art. The world-renowned exhibition, The Art of the Brick, is in Paris now. Several art sculptures created from more than 1 million Legos are on display there. Look at that, it's amazing. The sculptures are the work of American artist Nathan Sawaya, and the exhibition has already attracted millions of visitors worldwide. I cannot imagine the amount of time that took. Just putting those trucks together with my kid, Andy, takes hours.
When I was really little, I used to play with my dad's Lincoln Logs. You remember those?
Your dad's Lincoln Logs? You had them too, didn't you?
Logs, yeah. Oh, well, good story, Andy. All right, coming up in sports, Tom Brady not going away quietly. We've got the latest on Deflategate, and we'll tell you why 13 was a lucky number today in America. We can probably crack that code. We got highlights next.
Now, Andy Pepper with tonight's sports on News Channel 3, live at 10 on CW7.
It was just over 24 hours ago that Brad Ausmus described his team's recent offensive performance as anemic. Well, nothing anemic about the Tigers' offense today, unless anemic is a word used to describe a 20-hit, 13-run explosion, and I'm told it isn't. As you're about to see, no shortage of offensive fireworks, but we begin with some slick defense. Top one, Anibal Sanchez on the hill. Jose Iglesias showing yet again, well, somebody better give him a gold glove. Great range, the fluid flip to Ian Kinsler, who completes the Twins killing. Sanchez, by the way, going 8 strong, allowing 5 hits and 1 earned. Bottom one, Miguel Cabrera. Oh, just warming up. Base hit to center. Anthony Gose, 4 for 5 on the day, scooting home with the first run of the ball game. More on Miggy in a moment. 5th inning, Nick Castellanos showing some opposite field pop. 3rd of the season for Nick. I can call him Nick, we're close friends. 5-1 Tigers at that point. 6th inning. Oh, I got 2 words for you. One is buh. The other's bye. Bye-bye. Cabrera. 3 for 5 on the day, 2 homers, 5 RBI. The Tigers, as I mentioned, pounding out 20 hits on their way to a 13-1 win over the Twins. College baseball, WMU's 9th inning rally. Coming up short today against Central, the Broncos need to win 1 of their 2 remaining games against the Chips, or have Miami drop 1 of its 3 final games against Ohio to clinch a spot in next week's MAC tournament. All right, NFL news, to the surprise of absolutely no one. Tom Brady formally appealing his 4-game Deflategate suspension. The NFL Players Association is calling for an independent arbitrator to hear the case. The league's collective bargaining agreement, however, says the arbitrator will be decided by Commissioner Roger Goodell. That's going to be fun. NBA playoffs. Cavaliers looking to close out the Bulls tonight in Chicago. First quarter. Cavs running. Kyrie Irving stroking. Irving, though, with just 6 tonight. LeBron James, meanwhile, closing in on a triple-double. 12 points, 9 rebounds, 10 assists for King James. Cavs blowing the Bulls out, 88-64. The last score I saw late in the 4th quarter at the United Center. To golf, today's opening round of the Wells Fargo Championship. Rory McIlroy, birdie putt, par 5, 7th. And Rory, as usual, eating up the par 5s. The world's #1, finishing with a 270, following a late double bogey. Phil Mickelson, slippery little birdie putt on the par 4, 4th. Lefty, opening with 3 straight birdies, but Mickelson, double bogey on 18. He'd finish with a 1 under 71. Robert Streb. Who's Robert Streb? Not even sure. 7 under 65. He leads by 1 after 18 holes in Charlotte.
He's really impressive.
Stick around. Plenty more coming your way after the break.
Showers and maybe a few thunderstorms tomorrow, particularly in the morning. The rain will become more scattered in the afternoon. 74 for the high. Warm but unsettled weather for Saturday and Sunday. Could be dodging some showers over the weekend.
Things are changing.
You bet.
In the meantime, we are still following developing news and learning new information about a shooting that happened in Portage involving police that did turn fatal. We'll have the very latest and team coverage tonight at 11 on News Channel 3. For now, we thank you for watching. Have a wonderful night.